Question: ask Amy about her prediction for Gen 3. Her insights here made me rethink my own forecast. So what are your predictions for Gen 3?
Well, this specifically, Herbert and I had a conversation about how much of the Gen 3 platform we thought was going to be in the Cybertruck production line. And I think only pieces of it. Because of the fact that it has that cold rolled steel, like with the origami folding on the exoskeleton. And I don't think that it was all completely designed from the beginning to be assembled from 4 sides going in together. And I think that Tesla as a company is moving away from producing a car contrary to the way that they designed it. They said on the keynotes that was one of the major problems that they had with the Model 3 is they designed it to be built by people and then they tried to automate it. So when they designed the Cybertruck, we know they had the production team in the room. We know that they had the designers in the room. We know we had the suppliers in the room, and they all designed it together, but they designed it for a technique that probably wasn't an unboxed technique because I don't think they had it then. But we don't know because they don't tell how long they've been working on the Gen 3 platform versus when they started the Cybertruck platform. But I think that they will be testing out, and I actually had confirmation of this at the Investor Day, that there are many of the pieces and components of the Gen 3 platform, when they get to Giga Mexico and they start producing it, it's not going to be new for Tesla. Tesla already uses castings. Tesla already uses a structural battery pack. Tesla is figuring out the dry electrode process on the 4680s right now and ramping and significantly adding to that production, and it's all automated now, so all those elements are already there, and certainly quite a few of them are going to go into the Cybertruck, but I don't think it's going to be the full Gen 3 platform.
Gotcha.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Cybertruck has been in development for too long for it to really benefit tremendously from Gen 3 stuff, to be honest. I think, and again, if we take Tom Zhu and others to their word, is if Mexico is being built with Gen 3 in mind, that implies that Austin, Berlin, and others will have some sort of inefficiencies built in that will not allow them to really gain the benefits of Gen 3. And so it doesn't seem like a Tesla way to, like, they go all out,
right.
They want to do it all. So it's like, there's iterative process, but for this platform, it seems like it would be a waste of effort because Cybertruck already is new. And then you throw another new thing on it. That's like a Model X thing. That was like a lesson learned from Model X. It's like, let's not do too many new things at once. So I agree. There might be like small pieces they use, but yeah.
Oh, and I have one piece of other information about that is that in talking about why Austin is a bit slower to ramp than Shanghai, the production line is a straight line. And in Austin, it has to make some turns. And where those turns are is actually a large part of the bottlenecks. And the reason why that's the case in Austin is because the Cybertruck has been given the straight line. Like, you don't need a straight line in a Gen 3 platform. The whole idea in a Gen 3 platform is you're working on 4 sides of the car at once.
Gotcha. Interesting. So do you think Cybertruck's going to ramp a lot faster than people think because of that? How do you think about that?
I think so. I think that my feeling is that the Cybertruck is going to ramp very quickly because it's been designed from the beginning. I mean, that's the whole point of the cold rolled steel and the exoskeleton. It's been designed for manufacturing, even though this manufacturing hasn't been done. But they've been taking their time with the tooling, with the figuring out the manufacturing process, so that when they start producing it, I think that I expect them to ramp way faster than people are giving them credit for, and it's particularly lightning fast compared to what Wall Street thinks they're going to do.
Yeah. Did you see that Adam Jonas thinks they're going to be selling 50,000 per year of the Cybertruck at max ramp?
Yeah.
Where's the number at for you for like Cybertruck?
I think the demand is huge for Cybertruck. If you look at what a Ford F-150 does, I mean, it's millions of vehicles. Like, I don't understand why. But he's seen it in person. So that's, if people have only seen it on stage, I can understand a little bit more, or seen, just like pictures of it. I can maybe understand a little bit more why they think it's going to be a niche vehicle. But when you see it in person, and then you walk back out into a parking lot and you go into Austin and you see the old style trucks, they so instantaneously look dated. It's crazy. Like the Cybertruck is just absolutely stunning and gorgeous in person. It's not going to be a niche vehicle. It's like one of my comments was, it's going to be a fad the way the iPhone is a fad.
Yeah. Agreed. Couldn't agree more. I'm so excited for mine. Come on, get it out. I want it. Thank you, Herbert, for your question. This is the next one. Next question. And Hannah keeps coming back to the streams. Thank you so much for your questions, man. I really appreciate you. What does Amy think about Volkswagen opening a gigafactory in St. Thomas, Ontario, in Canada for battery manufacturing? Have you heard of this news?
Yes, I did just see that this came out. Let's see. Ontario, is this close to the Montreal lithium deposits?
I know they're right next to each other, but like the provinces are next to each other, but I don't know. Canada's a pretty big freaking oops. Let's see. So they got Ontario.
I meant to look that up this morning of where specifically this is located, but I have a feeling that it's actually going to be a very very strategic location.
So here's Ontario. Montreal's in Quebec, right?
Yeah. So it's actually, they're quite close then.
Montreal. Yeah.
They're definitely as close as Gigafactory Mexico is to Texas, to the suppliers, to the Sonora lithium deposit. So it's a strategic location for a gigafactory. But as we talked about, Tesla's expertise in building the machine that builds the machine is actually their prime advantage. And I think that maybe this is one of the things that finally makes Wall Street change their mind on how they evaluate Tesla when they see that Volkswagen opening a gigafactory doesn't go so smooth. Unless they have all, Tesla's, they can't even hire a Tesla's construction team because Tesla's construction team is in-house.
Yeah. Great point. Yeah. Interesting to see what they do with that. Thank you, Hannah, for the question. Let's do the next one. Next question. And be present. Great motto. Question. What is Amy looking forward to? The dogs also want to ask a question. What is Amy looking forward to in Tesla technology 6 months from now and 5 years from now?
6 months from now, I would really like to see FSD hit the mainstream and full self-driving. I think that they're very close. The release of the single stack was one of the things that we've all been waiting for. Now they're able to really just focus on the edge cases. They're no longer combining the stacks, which was diverting attention of a very talented staff to two big problems. Now you're just left with a very solvable problem with cars on the road, helping define where the edge cases are. So that would be my 6 months from now. And then of course the energy, I would really want to see the massive ramp in energy. 5 years from now for me is all about Optimus. Elon Musk has said, he said energy is going to be bigger than auto. And then he said that Optimus is going to be far bigger than both of them. And the way that is going to change society when Optimus comes out, I think it's so underappreciated, but there's so many boring, repetitive, and dangerous jobs where even when Optimus is just first deployed and people don't have to do that type of work anymore, it's going to be a massive difference. And then the autonomy for people that don't have autonomy right now, if they're able to have an Optimus, and then the price point that makes it affordable. And of course, everything that we need to see on Mars, I expect to end up in either Tesla or SpaceX or the Boring Company, which is, for me, it's hard to quantify, but it's always one of those things that I included when I think about investing in Tesla, is that the innovation is just starting.
Yeah, it's wild. Do you think the stock has anything priced in for FSD or energy or the bot today?
No, I know that they don't, because when Gary Black keeps very good records what other Wall Street analysts are modeling for, and energy was underneath. The average was 21 billion in 2030 is what they have modeled in for energy, and that's underneath what the revenue should be out of Lathrop by a lot. And the reason for that is because up until now there hasn't been a lot of revenue from energy in Tesla's books. They didn't have the factory. They weren't doing the same level of mass manufacturing, so the costs were higher. They didn't have quite the efficiencies. They weren't deploying it on large scale. So anticipate that the energy profits are going to surprise Wall Street. Again, it is a big box of batteries, but it's a smart box of batteries. And that's one of Tesla's differentiators. And it is a plug and play system that has all the electrical components needed for like thermal management within the batteries. Then it has Tesla software, just like if you look at FSD with Auto, that argument that layers on top with Power Hub and Auto Bidder and microgrid. That's a huge differentiator for Tesla batteries versus others. They're definitely a best-in-class solution.
Nice. Thank you for that. All right, let's do a couple more. Next question. And Sergey, question to both of you. MP3 is about the whole planet. Master Plan 3 is about the whole planet. What percentage of it do you think Tesla is planning to do itself? Great question. How do you think about that? You go first. Ladies first.
Yeah, I think a lot of it. I mean, I think they very much said that they're going to focus first on the EVs and first on the energy storage, because that is over 50% of the solution if they just get to those two components down. But I expect myself, and I wouldn't put this in a model or maybe take a bet on it, and I have a low cost basis, average cost basis in the stock, so I can be a little bit more fanciful in my thoughts. But
Sure.
I expect to see waves of gigafactories and megafactories going into place all around the world. That the way you make Master Plan 3 happen is by localizing the supply and the factory to the end user as much as you possibly can, as soon as you possibly can. And I don't think that Tesla is going to worry a lot about getting ships and more Roros. We've heard like people talking about that being a limited market. And that was actually one of the things that was asked of Tom Zhu at Investor Day. He's like, we don't need them. And, they don't need them for two reasons. One, they'd go back empty. The second is because they're going to be localizing factories on all these places, and you're not going to be needing to ship cars across the ocean.
So percentage-wise, what do you think?
Percentage-wise, I think they're going to keep going to the whole Master Plan 3 until competition steps in and starts taking some of the market. And then Tesla has never been scared of competition. They've actually always wanted help, which is what's so stupid about the competition is coming argument. You're talking about mass disruption of industries, which is one of the reasons why I invested in Tesla and was all in like almost from the get-go. It's like when I looked around at companies to invest in, I wanted something that was going to be massively disrupt an entire industry, disrupt an entire space. Even better that I believe so much in the mission where it just seemed worth investing in. Even if I lost my money, I didn't actually care that much because the mission seemed to be a worthwhile one. What do you think? What percentage are you thinking?
I'm thinking they do 20% of the total effort and volume, and they get 80% of the profits. That's how I
there we
think
go.
about that. Yeah,
that's actually that matches up with the iPhone.
Exactly.
I had tried to say that the iPhone had a large part of the market share, and I was interrupted by the units, but it's actually the revenue. The iPhone in 2021 had 44% of the smartphone revenue.
Yep.
But not all of the units. So that's a really good, I totally agree with you. Well said.
That's how I think about it.
Really
Thank you.
well
Thank
said.
you. Likewise.